Hey, welcome back. Well, if you have questions about Trump accounts, we have just the expert here. We're joined now by Eli Freeman, certified financial planner at Mach 1 in Bentonville. Thank you so much for joining us.
Happy to be here.
Okay, he knows everything. If you didn't join us at 7:30, glad you're here now. So just to catch everybody up, let's talk about what are Trump accounts exactly.
Trump accounts are a retirement savings vehicle for children under the age of 18. So if you're under the age of 18, you can contribute to a Trump account, and that will be invested in U.S. stocks for the purpose of your child's retirement. That's the primary usage of it. The best part of the Trump account is if you had a child in 2025 or plan to have a child through 2028, so January 1st, 2025, December 31st, 2028, the government will actually give you a $1,000 contribution without you putting anything into the account for your child.
And while $1,000 might not sound like a ton, you have some pretty impressive statistics of you were showing us on the app itself.
Yes.
For your son, okay, $1,000 now, what that would be by the time he's 60.
Yes. Now, past performance does not promise future performance, but what I did was I went back to 1961, so 65 years ago, and said if someone had $1,000 contributed to their account, now they're 65 years old in 2026, how much money would they have in their account? It was over $700,000 if they had just taken the $1,000 and never touched it ever again.
And that's not necessarily an average for the average person, right? We don't.
No, the average 65-year-old in the United States has right around $258,000 in their retirement accounts, according to Fidelity.
Wow.
And so that's a big jump, a big difference.
Yeah, almost 3 times the average American's retirement account is what can be contributed to your child's account if you file the correct forms. So if you're having a child born 2025 through 2028, the thing I'd recommend that you do is download the Trump account. So go to the App Store, download the Trump app,
Yeah.
The Trump app walks you through the steps that it takes to receive the contribution. You have to fill in Form 4547 and basically just verify that your child is a U.S. citizen, has a social security number.
And you can track it from there, but you were telling us earlier that you'll see it sort of maybe go down some, that don't be so alarmed by that.
Yeah, a very important thing to know is when you receive the $1,000 contribution, like my son received his July 4th. Now his account is no longer $1,000. It's actually gone down in value. And that's an important thing to know. This is invested in stocks. In stocks, about 56% of the time they go up on a daily basis. At the other days, it goes down. So if you're watching the account every single day, you're going to see the value go up. You're going to see the value go down. But the hope is stocks tend to rise over the long term. And if this is something that you're planning to invest into for a very long period of time, age 1 to age 65, your hope is that over a 30-plus year time horizon, the stocks increase.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about the contribution part a little bit. So people can go and put money into that account for your kid.
You, grandparent, really anyone can contribute to the account up to a maximum contribution on an annual basis of $5,000. So you cannot contribute more than $5,000, everyone included, you, grandma, only $5,000 is the maximum contribution. Now there are some provisions for like a company contribution or nonprofit, but those are kind of side notes.
And so whenever the child turns 18, this is sort of like your traditional retirement taxable.
Yes.
How does that work?
So that's a very clear misunderstanding that I'm seeing in some of the posts around Trump accounts. Once your child is 18 years old and they receive the Trump account, it turns into an individual retirement account, subject to retirement account penalties if you distribute it before you're 59 and a half years old. So say you have $100,000 in this account and it's pre-tax now because it's a retirement account, and you just want to take $50,000 out. Well, not only will the child pay income tax on it, they'll also pay a 10% penalty or $5,000 in that event. Now, there's a couple exclusions for that. One is if you pay for qualified education expenses, and the other is a small provision for first-time home buyers. But besides those few provisions, there's really not much access to the account after 18 years old.
And while there are those provisions, you're saying that this probably isn't the ideal account, especially if you're wanting to have an account that will build up for your kid to go to college or something like that.
No, now everybody's circumstance is different, but I would recommend if you're wanting to save for the purpose of college, there is a phenomenal account called a 529 account that you can contribute to. It grows and comes out tax-free for a qualified education expense, which is different than the Trump account where you pay tax on the growth. So if you're wanting to save specifically for college education, a 529 account is significantly more flexible, and the Arkansas 529 account has quite a few good investment options through Arkansas Brighter Futures 529 plan.
Wow, definitely need to look into that because we all know, we need to be prepared when that time comes. So take the $1,000, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Why not?
I had a conversation with an individual, and they go, "Well, I don't want it. It's coming from the government." And I go, "Well, you paid for it. If you're paying taxes, you're paying for it. So take it if you can get it. It's a free $1,000.
Take it, let it sit
So
there.
true.
Forget
Please.
about it. Just
Let
let
it
it be.
grow.
Exactly.
There we go. All right, thank you so much for being here. Always so knowledgeable. We appreciate you stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Dan.